Hi YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. And I did a thing. As you can see, this is a commit 30, and it's not one but two. In my defense with that, it was $35 and it was buy one get one free. And so I got one, which is this berry color in 2026, and then the other gray one that you see in the charcoal one is undated. So that way, if I really enjoy this, which I think I will have one for next year, and that is good. So I didn't open that one, but I'm just going to show you all how it looks. Not that you haven't seen it before, because it is videos on YouTube about it, although it's not like a ton of people that use it. But I've been looking at Commit 30 for like the last 6 months, and I was going back and forth with using the Erin Condren Life Planner for my planner for the year, and I just decided not to. And this was an emotional buy. I can't say impulse, because like I said, I have been like looking at it for a while, but it was definitely an emotional buy. And that's kind of what I want to talk a little bit about today. Welcome to anybody that is new to my channel. Periodically, I do videos with voiceovers where I just kind of talk about life, mental health. Mental health is my passion. It's what I do for work. It's just what I do. So I'm always trying to educate and share different things that I learn and I experience as well. And this is this video will be a little bit of self-disclosure as well. So before I do that, I'm just gonna go over a little bit of what I did in this planner. So I've seen people do tip-ins, and that's something that I might do. I did one tip-in, so to speak, and it's with my self-care weekly tracker sheets that I've shown on plenty of videos before. I just ended up taping it because I do want to see, self-care this coming week. I am not quite sure exactly how I want to use it, although I feel like it's going to shift at different times. At the bottom, they have like 3 rows, and for this week, I used one row for what I was eating, another row for my steps. But as I was thinking more about it, I think one row is going to be for gratitude, one for dinner, and one for steps. And then the other boxes I'm just going to use for plan or notes or different things like that. So I did get the deluxe edition, and I've been trying to just go through my things and see what it is that I need to get rid of. I have a lot of washi tape that is just older and not really sticking well, one of which I'm using right now, and that didn't stick. The edges that are closer to the bind, I ended up putting some glue on there with the glue stick, but I think I'm gonna just get rid of the ones that don't stick, which is pretty much a lot that's in the case that I showed. So yeah, it's a little unfortunate, but it brought me back just to, what do you really need? What are you using on a regular basis? What is something that is absolutely necessary to have? And I think that's something that I'm going to have to continue to remind myself, especially as someone that is trying to live a more simple life, minimalistic, more functional, getting down to the grit of what is it that I'm actually using on a daily basis? What is it that I'm always reaching for? And how can I, incorporate that and get rid of everything else? So that is what you will see me doing. I decided to use one of the note pages in the back as a health tracker because I am recently starting medications. One medication I got from my primary, another 4 is from my dermatologist. So starting quite a few meds, and I really need to watch what I'm doing. I'm really hoping to be consistent with my hair treatment because that's something that I've been falling off on. I do have alopecia. I went recently to the dermatologist, and to be honest, that is kind of what set this whole thing in motion of the emotional buy, I believe. Um, it's just, I ended up getting like shots in my scalp. It was totally unexpected. When I've gotten them before, I knew what I was getting going into the appointment. This time, I didn't really know what I was getting. I thought it was just going to be a regular appointment. And then when she said, oh, she saw the top of my head and it was inflamed. And, at this point, if you know anybody that has alopecia, then you kind of know it's different. If it's definitely different kinds. But once inflammation gets like really bad, it can damage the follicles where they don't grow at all, but it might still get inflamed. So because I have some follicles that still grow, maintaining and calming down as much inflammation as I can is so important. I also recently had a pretty bad flare up in my joints, and yeah, so inflammation is, yeah, it's a struggle at this point. But talking a little bit about the impulse buy, and I can't say impulse, the emotional buy, because that's what it was. I think the important thing for me to note in it was evaluating like why I did it, like what part of that emotion that I was feeling, and why did I specifically get that. And I'm asking myself more and more of those questions now, because it used to be a point where I was just pretty much buying things. It didn't matter. I was into bags at one point. I've always been into gym shoes. So it's like I was just buying random things. Then it went to like makeup and skincare and clothes and coats. Gosh, I remember when I went through like the coat phase. And it was just a lot. It was just a lot. It was overwhelming. At the time, I didn't think it was. I was using an insane amount of money on things, and I really didn't see it as anything emotional at that point. I just really wasn't making that connection. And a lot of times I think things go on because either we think maybe like that couldn't be me, or no, that's not really what I'm doing, or I really do need this, and we justify some of what we do. At least I've done that in the past, and this was an emotional buy. I've been doing so good in terms of just buying things emotionally. I've been able to channel that through other things like reading, watching different things on TV, watching different shows, just involving myself in things that doesn't involve me doing something impulsive in that moment. And the most I'll do impulsive is buy something or eat something. And that's another area that I'm working on, is emotionally eating. I love to eat anyway. I eat through pretty much any emotion, whether I'm happy, sad, angry. I just eat. I like food. uh, and especially since I've recently, over the past year, just gotten away from buying random things, I will treat myself to food experiences because I like food. And I don't think with minimalism, you have to give up every single thing, even if you're on a financial journey to, meet your financial goals. I don't think you have to give up everything. I think it's just worth looking at what it is that you need to do, what it is that you like and you truly enjoy, and something that really, really, really makes you happy. And what are you doing with money or things or whatever it is that your struggle is? Some people struggle with the time that they spend with people. I know some people that get involved with others that they really don't care to be involved with, but they're filling that space and that void that they have. So even though it's not the best decision, they reach for it. So I would really encourage you all, if you struggle with anything, whether it's spending money, emotions, emotionally regulating, loneliness, depression, anxiety, whatever it is, it's always a reason as to why we find ourselves in situations where we're overdoing something or underdoing something. And underdoing could simply mean just not taking care of yourself well. So I would really encourage evaluating that. That's something that I had to do. That's something that I was so happy that I'm able to do now, because I was able to really sit down and think about it. I've not been happy with my planning system for a while now, and I've said this countless times. I believe when I was doing my composition notebooks and turned them into like my own planner, that worked the best. But because I'm going through this period where my emotions and everything are all over the place, I can't sit down and definitely say that I can dedicate time to completing that notebook every month or getting it started. So I definitely needed something that was already made. I am more of a vertical planner, so this worked pretty good for me. And because I made this emotional buy, I'm also now committing myself to finishing it. It was kind of like, I'm not going to say punishing myself, but just saying, okay, you bought this, so you have to use this now. And I am just trying to, the good thing is I'm feeling my way through it. And each week might look different, but it'll give me a different thing to go for. I also like the fact that goals is within it. So each month it's a new thing that you want to commit to for that month. And I think for me, and changing things out a lot, that's also going to work pretty good. I've done a lot of this in my other notebooks where I've crossed out or dotted out or tracked different things. So that is going to be a positive. But again, I would really encourage you all to really process why you are doing or not doing some things. And that could range from so many different things, like, why do I drink so much coffee? Why have I been drinking so much pop? Why have I been reaching for chocolates more? Why have I been spending money more? Why have I not been taking care of myself in this area more? And it's a difficult conversation to have with yourself, I will say that. But it's something that's worth having, and I feel like it'll make you feel a lot better because you'll know exactly what to target or what you really need to work on. And sometimes that's what it takes to meet our goals. We have these little stumbling blocks, and not facing them doesn't mean that they go away. It just means that we press them down, and they definitely had a potential to come back up. So yeah, that is my little spiel for this video. I like it. I kind of like this. I like me putting the self-care. Although next week I might just tip it actually like into the crease of it. But flipping it up is okay, I guess. But yeah, I like it. And I better like it. I got it now. And I have another one for next year. So this would have been really good if you were going into it with somebody else, because then both of you all could split the cost and have one each. So it seems like they have pretty good deals at different times. Thanks so much. I know the video is going out. I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.